launches that round.
He kind of rallied a bit toward the end of the round and managed to finish quite strong. But no question about it, the big right hand by Marquez had him doing a bit of a dance out there and hanging on for most of round number 2. This is number 3, scheduled for 10. They're featherweights. And Julian Wheeler's a tall, lean, and lanky guy in the blue trunks. The guy with the big-time punch is Juan Manuel Marquez. Nacho Beristain's young prospect who he thinks is the type of guy who's going to go right to the top.
He might be right, Tom. And Marquez is doing following kind of the same path that Marco Antonio Barrera did, fighting early in his career in Mexico and coming to the United States, making a splash in Las Vegas as Barrera did when he fought Eddie Cook, and as we saw when Marquez fought Israel Gonzalez the first time we got a look at him there, and then making the Forum his home. And this is his 5th fight this year here at the Great Western Forum, Marquez, and he's beginning to build up that following now.
But he hasn't had to work very hard in many of them. He's only gone 8 once a couple of fights ago, and of course we showed you what he did to Rodriguez. Put him away with one big looping right hand and some other solid shots early in round number 1 back in September. So looks like they clashed with heads, but neither man showing the effects of it. No butt, no cut. Marquez is in the black trunks, trimmed in red, and in the blue, lean and lanky Julian, the dealer Wheeler.
Wheeler needs to throw more punches, Tom. It seems like he's waiting to counterpunch, but I think he needs to get his jab going first. Otherwise, he could end up being dominated by this kid Marquez.
Marquez hit him a left hand right at the belt line. Wheeler thought it might have been a little low. But the reach advantage Wheeler has, Rich, he hasn't used to any advantage.
No.
Marquez is getting inside, and Wheeler's punches are circling over the back of his head and not really connecting.
You're absolutely right, Tom, and I think a way to correct that is to jab more, and then as his second, ask him to do jab and then step to the right to try to get away from that power of the right hand of Marquez and let it slide by his head.
But he's got to find him with that left hand first of all, locate him with the jab, and then he'll find him an easier target to hit if indeed he can get that done.
Pretty good bounce back round so far, though, by Wheeler here.
Couldn't agree more. Having a pretty good round, and he's showing none of the effects of the good right hand that Marquez hit him with. Round number 3 is coming to a close, and we'll be back right after this.
All right, as they begin the 4th round, look at that left hook to the body, and when I say body, I mean the lower portion of the body, again by Marquez. So he's had a couple, Tom, that have really strayed south of the border.
That one went unnoticed or uncommented on by Larry Rosadilla, 3rd man in the ring. So they're picking up some scissors that have been dropped by the people in the corner of Julian Wheeler. This is round number 4. It's scheduled for 10. And I remind you again, the longer the fight goes, it'll be interesting, I think, to watch Marquez. He's only had to go 8 once. He's put people away with such quick dispatch that, you know, why go 10 if you can knock a guy out in 1, eh, Rich?
Yeah, and Wheeler, on the other hand, Tom, has already fought 2 10-rounders and a 12-rounder that have gone the distance. So, you know, he's a guy who's already accustomed to going a long distance around.
Wheeler's in the blue, in case you've just joined us. He was an Olympian in '92. He got nailed with a solid right hand back in the 2nd round, thrown by Marquez, the smaller of the two, but a very dangerous puncher. Wheeler stepping up the activity.
Yeah, he's beginning to get his stick to work now, that left hand of his, Tom. He's quick, and I think he's coming back into himself now. He looks more solid on his legs in this round.
Well, he probably is a little more assured. At least he knows what to expect from Marquez. He got nailed with the right hand, had to survive round number 2, and did. It shows none of the effects of a big-time punch. He didn't go down, but he was rocked. You know, these 2 guys are teeing off on one another, Rich, when they get close enough to land some bombs. Wow. Big-time uppercut by Marquez, and Wheeler just does slide away from him.
One problem that Wheeler has, Tom, is he lunges at times with his jab, and when he lunges, he brings his arm down and he he sticks his chin out, and he's open for a counterpunch.
It is only his quick speed of body as well as hands that has kept him from really getting nailed. He gets his head back out of there almost as quickly as he hangs it in a very inviting fashion.
Wheeler looks as though he's picking up confidence in this round.
Yeah. Probably feels a little more at home. He got nailed with a good punch thrown by Marquez. Survived that. And he seems to be at least holding his own, if not outboxing Marquez here as we watch him in round number 4.
Yeah, very good round. Very good round for Wheeler. He looked excellent in this round.
Yeah.
In fact, Marquez turned to southpaw there for a few seconds.
Yeah. As the round is coming to a close. All right. Scheduled for 10. Well, when my back was turned, Rich Marotta came up with another list of devastating punchers. He's got our man Roy Jones Jr. on top. Why not?
There's our best pound-for-pound man in the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, no question, and it's hard to argue with the next two. De La Hoya gets better with every outing. Felix Trinidad, all you got to do to see him punch is knock him down, and then he'll show you. I like Riddick Bowe in there. I think Bowe is a devastator. I think he's the best heavyweight in the world, but what's my opinion? Cesar Chavez can still knock you sideways. Marco Antonio Barrera, he just keeps getting better and better, and he does it, I tell you, baby-faced assassin indeed, because he just doesn't even smile when he takes guys apart. Gabe Ruelas, he'll be in action against Azuma Nelson, Corte, Tyson. You got, it's a nice list. Oh, I'll turn my back on you all the time, Rich.
And we got Mark Too Sharp Johnson into our pound-for-pound ratings for the first time.
Don't think he can't fight. All right, after 4 rounds, here's how Marotta sees it, dead even at 38. In the blue, we're in round number 5 of a featherweight bout scheduled for 10.
Barrera, by the way, who was our number 8 man, picking up a few notches. Tom had a terrific fight Saturday night at the undercard of Bowen Holyfield and took Eddie Croft apart in sections, basically, and just broke him down as he does so many fighters, and stopped him in 7 rounds.
And he does it without, for want of a better term, not even raising a sweat, so it seems he just methodically goes about what he has to do, and he's devastating.
He is really good.
Yeah. Now the guy from the British Isles, Prince, what is his name?
Nassim Ahmed.
Ahmed. He moved up, won the featherweight title, didn't he?
Yes, and also in the WBO, 126 pounds. There were a lot of people saying that he really didn't want too much of a part of Marco Antonio Barrera, and so he moved up and took an easier fight to win the featherweight championship.
Barrera's the WBO champion, 122, super bantam or junior featherweight.
Tonight when we see Zaragoza go at it with Hector Acero Sanchez, they'll be deciding the WBC title at 122.
Daniel Zaragoza is really something. He is quintessential. Good left-hand counter punch by Wheeler.
And you're seeing, Tom, why I told you I felt that he was a live underdog here tonight. In the 4th round, again in this round, although that was a good body punch from Marquez. Now Wheeler up on his toes, and this is what I expected to see from him from the beginning. He knows how to use that ring.
Marquez face showing the effects of some stinging left hands thrown by Wheeler.
Looks to me like that right eye of Marquez is beginning to close a little bit.
It is indeed. He got nailed again with a left hand. He's got a pretty good welt coming up on the cheekbone there, and his face showing the effects of some pretty solid punches. These two guys have been after each other since the opening bell. Marquez with a big-time right hand that wobbled Wheeler in round number 2. Had him headed for the canvas, but the kid from Huntington Beach, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, rallied and has done very well since then. This is scheduled for 10, and you're watching action in the 5th round as it draws to a close. Nice crowd on hand here. Jim Bush is over there, great track coach. Magic Johnson, great athlete. We'll be back, round 6, right after this.